Sagar was a good student. He loved reading books and learning new things. His teachers praised him for his hard work and always gave him good grades. But there was one thing that Sagar was not good at, and that was sports. He was never interested in playing any games, and he would rather spend his time studying instead. One day, Sagar saw a boy being bullied by his classmates. The boy was crying, and everyone seemed to be ignoring him. Sagar felt sorry for him, and he decided to speak up. "Leave him alone. He's just a child," Sagar said. The other students looked at him, surprised to hear such bold words coming from a kid their age. But the bully backed off, and the boy dried his tears. Sagar felt proud of himself, but he didn't know what to do next. The next day, Sagar saw the boy coming to school again. This time, he had brought a book with him. Sagar was curious, and he decided to ask him what he was reading. "I'm reading The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien," the boy replied. Sagar had never heard of the book, but the boy seemed to be enjoying it. He asked the boy if he was a fan of fantasy books, and the boy smiled. "Yes, I love them all. What about you?" Sagar told him that he was a fan of science fiction, but he also liked fantasy stories. The boy smiled again, and Sagar felt like they could be friends. From that day on, they started meeting in the library to study. Sagar would bring books to the boy, and they would discuss them while they worked on their homework. Sagar even started bringing himself to the library so he could see the boy more often. The boy's name was Raj, and he was a friendly and smart kid. Sagar soon realized that Raj was a fan of fantasy too, and they would talk about the books they had read. Sagar found himself more interested in Raj than he had ever been in any other kid. One day, Raj showed Sagar a new game he had been playing. It was called Dungeons and Dragons, and it was like no game Sagar had ever seen before. Raj explained that it was a role-playing game where players created characters and acted out their own stories. Sagar was hesitant at first, but Raj was persistent. He showed Sagar how to play the game, and before long, they were deep into the story. They had to save the kingdom from the evil sorcerer who was threatening to destroy everything they had ever known. Sagar found that he had a natural talent for the game, and he was having so much fun. He didn't care that he was missing sports practice anymore, and he even started bringing Raj to his fantasy meetings. As they played deeper into the game, Sagar and Raj began to fall in love. They would talk about their characters, falling in love with one another more and more with each passing day. Sagar had never felt so alive, and he knew that he had found something special. The evil sorcerer finally defeated, and Sagar and Raj were walking hand in hand through the forest. They looked at each other, and Sagar knew that he had found someone who loved him for who he was. From that day on, Sagar and Raj were inseparable. They continued to play Dungeons and Dragons, and they even started writing their own stories together. Sagar had found his dream team, and he knew that he would always have Raj by his side. Years went by, and Sagar and Raj went to college together. They studied science, but they also explored the world of fantasy. They wrote their own books, and they starred in their own movies. Sagar had never been happier, and he knew that he had found something special in Raj. One day, Raj died saving Sagar's life. He knew that he had loved Raj more than anything in the world, and he was grateful for the time they had spent together. Sagar vowed to carry on Raj's legacy, to inspire others with their love story and their love for fantasy. As he stared into the darkness of his empty room, Sagar knew that he had gained more than just a best friend. He had gained a brother, a lover, and an inspiration.